Well, good morning. Welcome to Children's Worship. Today we're focusing on being the church by being open to other perspectives than our own. So let's begin with the perspective of being grateful for our lives by singing, I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Everybody ready? As you're willing and able, here we go. Touching your feet, I'm alive. Touching your heart, my heart is awake. Touching our minds, I'm aware, and I'm enthusiastic. Here we go. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware. I'm aware, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Great. And this time, a little bolder and a little faster. Here we go. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware. I'm aware, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Very good. And now, a little more meditative for us. No words. And now really fast. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware. I'm aware, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Woo! That was a good one. So great. For our cellist today, we have Imani, and she's going to light it right in her home. Here she is. Double thumbs up for life. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather an online community to celebrate the glories and mysteries of this great gift. For our mindfulness practice today, with all the change going on and coming up, I thought it might be useful for us to do one of our practices, which is to really take on or try to imagine the perspective of something in the natural world. If you have something that you can put around you, that'd be great, and if not, you can pretend. But we're going to begin with the first part of what a caterpillar does to become a butterfly, and that is to be hanging from its thread. So first to hang from a thread, which we can't do right now, but we can imagine. Breathing in and breathing out. What would it be like to just be hanging there, breathing in and breathing out like a jay? And then we're going to start to try to wiggle our skin to the top. So just like the caterpillar does, it kind of wiggles its outer skin, its old skin, to the top where it's hanging. So let's just breathe in and try that. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. That's a good one. And the next thing it does, it starts to move side to side to get that skin to fly off from the thread. So let's try that. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Good. The next part that a caterpillar does is it waits. So it's in the chrysalis, and now it is being transformed. So waiting is also part of what we practice in mindfulness. Imagine just having to wait. So here we are, breathing in and breathing out. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Breathing in and breathing out. And changing on the inside, actually. And then in the end, we have the opening up of the chrysalis and coming out. And that coming out is drying and spreading our wings. Are you ready? Here we go. Breathing in, and breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. And big wings this time. Breathing in, and breathing out. Very good. I'm praying that you will embrace the changes, not only today that you experience, but in the week to come. And we can be in any one of those phases. Yeah. Thank you to all the butterflies out there. For a moment of inquiry today, I had a question for you, and we haven't done one of these ones in a long time, and that is, do you know who this person is? Do you recognize her? If you guessed that she's a Unitarian Universalist, you're absolutely right. And if you also guessed that she's a minister, you're also right. Her name is the Reverend Dr. Yvonne Cian, and she is the first African American woman to be ordained in our tradition, and that was in 1981. Way before that, our tradition, Unitarianism, ordained a white woman. The first white woman was ordained in 1863, so a very long time before Reverend Dr. Yvonne. Yeah, so it took a very long time before our faith tradition opened to the wisdom and to the leadership, especially of women of color and of Black women of color. So it's a very important change and kind of transformation in our denomination's history. To share a story today, we have the Kitwana family. Imani and Soleil and Aaliyah will be our main characters.
Eshu is a famous trickster god of West Africa. He loves to cause chaos. Today, he's walking down the road between two farmers with a hat that has stripes on one side and is straw on the other side. The two farmers walk and converse with him and wish him well. Later that day, the two farmers were talking, and one farmer commented on the lovely stripes in Eshu's hat. And the other farmer said, absolutely not. He had a straw hat on. And they bickered and they fought, and nobody could come to a conclusion. One was very clear that he saw a straw hat, whereas the other farmer was very clear that he had a striped hat. And what do you know? Eshu comes and dances between the two of them to show them how narrow-minded each of them had been. And they were both embarrassed and transformed.
Good. So, what do you think that story has to remind or to teach us, especially about opening to other perspectives and being the church by being that opening? Well, first of all, in my mind, humor can help, right? So Ishu is a trickster god, and he's moving his body and kind of sauntering along and comes to interrupt life. And sometimes the humor of him coming back to dance like that, sometimes humor allows us to crack open our hearts for new awareness to come in. Yeah. Another thing this story reminds me about is that in the midst of conflict, the greatest thing, that is the hardest thing to do, is to have some holy curiosity. What is the other person or group? What is the perspective that's coming into conflict with your own, kind of what your own ideas are about what happened or what needs to happen? So, to have holy curiosity, to wonder, to open ourselves to wonder, which is also part of our mission as First Unitarians, right? To open ourselves to transformation and wonder. And oftentimes it's the story of another person or another being that can help us to free our minds and hearts. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, the third thing, is this idea that we are not alone in being transformed, that it happens together. So we can kind of be off on our own, doing our own little spiritual practices as a family. But being in community offers us the opportunity and the challenge, right? The opportunity and the challenge to encounter other people and other perspectives that help us to open up, to help us to be free, and together to walk in that kind of dance, right, of learning together. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's both. So great. Thank you so much, Kitwanas. That was good. So for our moment of family connection today, the story reminded me of a picture book that it has some issues with it, but one of the core issues of this picture book is this very idea of being able to take on the perception or the role of someone else, to be able to kind of feel what it feels like for the other person. And it's a funny story that's in popular culture called The Trouble with Grown-Ups. And it's a Bernstein Bears book from a long time ago that is similar to our story today, and that the young bears and the parents end up switching places to see what it's like to be the other. And so for our family connection today, I guess there would be my idea to offer to you is to maybe do one thing this week safely where you can change up your role. So parents can be like the kids and the kids could be like the parent. And whatever your family makeup is, to be able to do that safely, I think it would be fun, and it may offer you some understanding of the other. And to close our worship today, I just wanted to offer you some things around here and see if you can guess where they come from. Part of opening ourselves to other perspectives is also delighting in the differences that we have and celebrating where we are as well as where others are. So that's all for now. Bye from church. Big love. We'll see you next time. Bye.